Located on the first floor of Simons Hall at St. John's University, the Eugene J. McCarthy Center has held a strong presence on campus for 10 years. The center hosts a variety of events and opportunities for students, faculty, and community members, including Politics and a Pint, the annual Fall McCarthy Lecture, and the Spring McCarthy Residency, Econ and English, TED Talk Tuesday, a mentor program, and study tours. Having hosted over 400 events, one might not expect that the center is located in a small office space and has a staff of only 8 people. Last week, I sat down with political science professor and director of the McCarthy Center, Matt Lindstrom, to discuss the center, its role on campus, and where he sees it in the next 10 years.
If I were to tweet about the McCarthy Center's role, we are a venue for dialogue, for debate, for discussion about a whole range of public policy issues in a neutral space and a civil space. It's probably more than 140 characters, but that's the gist of it. Hashtag civic engagement.
So if I am not a student who is a political science major,
Right.
would I still be welcome at these events? Would this be something I could be involved in?
Absolutely. I want to make real clear the McCarthy Center is way more than just political science. You think about the history of different issues, you think about the economics of different issues, we can think about the science of different issues, many public policy issues relate to religion, faith, spirituality, things of that nature. You know, we had a forum recently on Black Republicans, right? And it was co-sponsored by the College Republicans, the Black Student Association, and the Institute for Women's Leadership, as well as the McCarthy Center. And that's an incredible partnership, and probably one of the more unique ones in the country, if you really think about it. But I think that's the beauty of the center. We can be a kind of a vehicle to bring different groups and peoples together, and may not agree at the end of the day, but that's fine. I mean, but to disagree without being disagreeable.
On Tuesday, March 14th, the McCarthy Center hosted its 100th Politics and a Pint with Johnnie alum and former White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough. We check in now with Zach Eichten, who interviewed students and community members following the event.
So what were your thoughts on the 100th Politics and a Pint with Dennis McDonough?
It was the opportunity of a lifetime. It's not often that the college you go to has someone that has worked in the White House. He is an incredible guy. He seems very down to earth, and the information he shared with us today just seemed incredible.
Here on the 100th Politics and a Pint, why do you think the McCarthy Center is so successful in these events?
I think the McCarthy Center has been so successful for its short history because it has really understood the importance of our Benedictine tradition of being willing to listen to each other, respect each other, even as opinions differ. We have a great diverse campus, but our ability to talk to each other is something the McCarthy Center really does a great job of encouraging. And I think in this time in our country's history, there's no more important set of skills, I think, that we can send our students into the world with.
So what are your guys' thoughts on Politics and a Pint?
One of my favorite things about Politics and a Pint, I think it just gives students the opportunity to talk about issues that maybe we're not talking about in our classrooms, and it brings together people from all different areas of study, and so lots of different inputs, and I think that's really important.
As for this particular Politics and a Pint with Dennis McDonough, I think it was awesome to hear from such a distinguished alumni, and having the opportunity to be able to hear about his experience in the White House.
Just a week or two ago, we had the 100th Politics and a Pint with Dennis McDonough. Can you tell us a little bit about that event? How did we get Dennis on campus?
We've been in contact over the last 10 years. He's been extremely generous with our student groups that visit Washington. He's brought them to the White House, and every year, even twice a year sometimes, including our college presidents who also visit D.C. So we've had this relationship with him for now 10 years. So it was an easy ask. He loves Minnesota. He loves St. Ben's and St. John's. And so he said yes right away. And it was a wonderful day.
What makes Politics and a Pint so special that this event continues to be very successful?
Sure. So I got the idea for Politics and a Pint from a nonpartisan organization in the Twin Cities called the Citizens League. And the Citizens League partnered with, and continues to partner with, Minnesota Public Radio to do what they call Policy in a Pint. And their idea, and I was directly inspired by them, is to meet in a public venue like a restaurant or bar, something to that effect, and to bring in policy experts and have interviews and kind of conversations along with audience dialogue. It's in a semi-informal, it's in a relatively informal setting, and it's a good opportunity for people to engage directly with kind of policymakers and people that think about these issues. People have been talking about politics and religion and community in their local taverns since the beginning of taverns, I suspect. So it's a natural place to have a Pepsi or a pint of beer or water or whatever. It doesn't matter what you drink, but the idea is to have in a little more informal setting. And I really like to put students up front and center and be involved in the planning process, to be involved in the media, to do the interviews, to actually do the speaking. I can't believe that we've had our 100th. It's really amazing that we're at 100. And we really didn't start counting, I think, until about a year ago, when we said, geez, how many have we had of these? And all of a sudden we're in the 90s, and then we think, oh my gosh, we're going to hit 100. And the timing couldn't have been perfect, more perfect with Mr. McDonough coming back to campus. So, we'll continue to do these events. We want to, we do them about once a month, give or take, and they've been a lot of fun. But the reason for their success, for sure, is the student leadership and the student buy-in as well, not only from the McCarthy Center students and the student leadership, but also other student groups on campus with whom we partner for these events.
So you mentioned student involvement at the events. In what other ways, shapes, or forms can students be involved in the McCarthy Center in general?
It's real simple to get involved in the McCarthy Center. Read our emails, look at our posters, and come to events. Second of all, get involved in our mentor program. Get involved in actually coming to the center as a volunteer. We have a volunteer program where students can help out with a whole bunch of different things. And ultimately, we have a paid staff of students as well. So there's kind of different levels of student involvement. But the first thing is just show up. It's just real simple. Just show up to an event. Certainly the St. Ben, St. John's students don't stop learning when they leave these places. And so I hope that this McCarthy Center helps to light some sparks. I'm not going to say we're going to light the whole bonfire, but we're going to start lighting some sparks with some students. We're going to open their eyes to maybe some new issues that they might care about, or they can develop their passion, they can develop their interests.
After only 10 years, the McCarthy Center has become a staple to campus life, and we look forward to seeing its success and outreach grow in the next decade. A special thank you to the McCarthy Center and Professor Matt Lindstrom for giving us an inside look to the center. Until next time, this is Maddie Morris reporting for Johnnie Bennie Campus News.